So I've just realised that I have forgotten to put the camera on when I was doing a bit of stamping. I've been using the clear stamp set that was sent to me in my design package. It is a Cosmo Tickets, it's called, but I thought it wouldn't hurt. I used the Stay Curious, Be Amazed. So I thought, you know, they have that Christmas vibe to it, and just a couple of the tickets as well. And I was just cleaning this one off. I've used a silver ink. It is, yeah, it's called Platinum Silver, and they're the Deco stamps, and that's kind of how it turns out. It gives a nice shimmery stamp effect. So I didn't do a lot, but just a few. I'll just put that back on there like that, and that, and put that away. And now I'm going to do a little bit of where is it? Paint splattering, and I did it on my last journal. I quite like the effect, so I'm going to do it. And I've got this little set of glittery watercolor paints, and there's a nice silver color in there, so I think we will do that. Put that ink away. Oh, do I need? No, I don't need. Okay, so I've had my water, and I'll just put a little bit of water in that silver. I'm using this fan. It's an old one. It's been used quite often for different things, so it's not in the best of condition, but it will be, hopefully it will be fine. So, but before I do it on my book, I will I'll get a bit on here first and see if I can remember how to do it now. Yeah, that looks about right. Can you see? It's a bit hard to see when it's wet. Just my heat gun. And put that in. Let's dry it off a little bit. I like that. It actually matches that ink very nicely, but can you see just those little silver speckles? So what I'm going to do is get my journal, probably put the cover to the side at the moment, and just, alright, there's my first signature. I have been adding things to it, putting a few flowers. They will be glittered in the center, a few snowflakes, using the same as the inside cover. You saw that. Just adding those little collages I made as well, like this. So, little flower there. So I've been doing, you know, little bits, because I've been in and out a bit. So I've added the collages like you see. Tags are in place. Some of them aren't finished yet though. So I'll just, I leave the brush quite wet, and I make sure there's plenty of water in there as well. So how did I do it? Just like, and it doesn't need to be all over the page, just something like that, a speckle like that, and then I will have to dry the page like that. See, and it just, I like the effect it gives, just that little bit of shimmer to the page there. And that's all I'm going to do. I probably won't. You have to be careful when there's a lace, because you don't want to, although I think that's probably cotton, you wouldn't want to melt it. And it doesn't really go through to the other side either, which is also very nice. Yeah, that should give it a nice kind of snowy effect. So with something like this, because I don't want to get too close to the lace, I'll get my speckles and I'll just do it in the center part perhaps. Got to get some on there, otherwise it's not going to work. Just like that. And I might as well put a bit on this side too while I'm here, like that. And carefully I don't think I overheated it, but it doesn't want to come back on. I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't use it very often. Maybe it's just had it stay, which is unfortunate. Maybe I'll have to leave it for a while. This won't take long to dry, really. So I guess I'll just go through the journal, seeing as I can't use this now. And I will do the splatters throughout the journal. But I'll do, that's going to take forever without this, because now I will have to wait for it all to dry naturally. Okay, I'll do that, then I'll be back. Alright, I have done that. I ended up going and getting a little hairdryer to help it along so it didn't take so long. And it's very subtle, but it's very nice just to, you know, fill in the pages so they don't look quite so plain. Not that I have anything against plain papers. I actually like them because, like, I draw and write in journals, and I presume there would be a lot of other people decorate their journals. So even with a plain page, there's still plenty of room for people to make it their own and collage and, you know, just do what they want to do on a plain page. So basically that's what I've done. I've done every, you know, few pages I've put some splatters on. In the middle of these bags I've put the splatters on there as well. So we better, I spilt the water all over myself. So I had to go get changed. So it's probably just as well I didn't do it all on camera. So that's a nice little paint set, that one, for things like that. Put that away. Move the water so that I don't get it all over me again. I don't know if there's a lot of little, I'll have to get a new matte part thing soon anyway. Now, what do I want to do? It's almost lunchtime now. So what I was thinking of doing, and I just have to wait for that to dry, is, oh, before I do that, I did print out some tags for in here, if I can find one, and they're from the Paper Cameo. I've had them for a long time. I'm quite sure the name of the kit, oh, could be Christmas Eve. I'll put it on the screen. I can't even find one now, surely. There's about 8 of them throughout. Where is it? Oh my goodness. Oh, of course. Oh, they're up here. That's silly. I forgot I'd put them up here, and so when I went through, I thought I had blank spaces, so I started cutting up cards. I started cutting up papers to make tags, but in actual fact, I've got these tags. I'd have them up there because I've just glittered the snowballs that are printed on there. I didn't do the snowflakes because the end of my the thing comes out far too thick for some reason, and it just doesn't make a nice point. If I can manage to get some more silver Kinderglitz or stickles tomorrow when I go out, with a nice fine tip, I might be able to go over the snowflakes as well. Okay, so maybe I don't need these after all, because these were going to go in the pockets. But I needed to get some lace. Where's my... lost my... Where's that? Oh, there it is. My scraps. There was that other piece of this, and see how it's got a decorative part at the top there? I thought if I could just put a little bit of lace at the top there, it would finish them off quite nicely. Hopefully there might not be enough to do all of them. Oh, well, there might be. If I did it that way, there would be. Maybe I'll do it that way. Let me get some scissors. Like just having it like that. And then sew around them. Oh, I've got to back all these now because I backed the other. I backed all these ones. Sew around it and then cut it to shape. Maybe put a hole there, because I've got some nice little ribbon here, or I've got this like a rat tail type. But I could use tulle as well, which is a favourite of mine. So that's what I want to do now. And all I have to do is just put a little bit of glue under there to hold it in place until I'm ready to sew it, which I will do. Completely forgot I'd put those up there. The other tags will be alright. I can use them in other things. I just need to put a little bit of glue on, like in one spot, just enough to hold it like that. Yeah, so that's what I will do. Just trying to, although that one seems to be a bit wider, doesn't it? But that, you know what, that's okay. I could, if I cut it there, like that, and kind of tilt it a little bit like that, it'll be fine. I can shape it a little bit there too, to follow the line of the shape of the tag once it's stitched on. So I'll just put a bit of glue there to hold that where I want it. So like that. Yeah. And then once I can come in like that and just like like that, just so it's not straight, because you don't always want things straight across, do you? Like that. And this one was a little bit higher up. Like that. It looks better having a bit of lace up there than just the photocopy effect. So I will go and do that and stitch around them, and then I'll be back. So they have been done. I'll just show you a couple. It's the little house one. The lace at the top, the stitching behind. And I'll just leave the other tags in there and finish them off, and there can be like 2 tags in there. There's another one with the tree. So that little bit of lace was quite nice on the top. Now, to finish them off, I will probably, with these ones, I might just use some tulle. I've got this roll I found at the op shop thrifting a long time ago, and it's so useful because it's just a nice width for tags, and it's a nylon tulle. So all I have to do is punch a hole in the middle, right there. So the paper will punch properly, but sometimes you have to trim the fabric as well so that it doesn't block the hole. I don't think it will need an eyelet in it because you won't even see it by the time the tool goes through. So you've got to make it really tiny and then push it through, open it up like that, and do that. And don't pull it too tight when it oh, it might need an eyelet. I found some new eyelets, white ones. They're the hammering kind, but they work. So I might use some of those instead, just to finish it off nicely. Okay, I'll put that in there. Then thread it through like that, and then I normally just like that. Or you can trim the threads off if you want, or just leave them, and that makes a nice little tag. So I can put that one in there, and then I will continue on and do the rest. Now if you want to put a little bit of glue under here to stop it from coming off, you're quite welcome to, but they usually stay anyway. I might cut that bit of thread off, it's annoying me, so there we go. So that's that one, and I'll go ahead and do the other ones now. So So I'm back. It's been a couple of days since I've done anything. I have this old silver crepe paper. I've had it for a long time, and I thought I might do something with that. So I've cut a strip off, and I'm going to cut it into like probably about 5 inches. Cut a 5-inch strip off, and what I'm going to do is make a little flower with it. I've tried one already, just to show you. It's like a little rosette, and I've put a fabric flower in it with some glitter, which is still wet. And I thought they turned out quite nicely, and to finish the back off, I just punched a flower out of book paper to hold it all together and put it on the back. And I think that will make a nice little embellishment for the page. But I've also got, I thought it needed leaves, and I've been rummaging around, and I've got these millinery leaves here. They're really lovely. At first I thought this one, but they look a little bit big, perhaps. And then I saw these ones, which might be a little bit better. So let's have a look. I got these at thrifting years ago. Let's see if I can pull one out. They're wired together. How do I unwire them? Here we go. Okay, that might be easier. Just to undo it. I just want it loose enough that I can pull a couple out. There we go. Let's have a look whether they're the right size or a better size. Just have a couple of those. It might work. Like that or something. I think they're a better size. I don't really mind what kind of leaves they are. I think it will sit better on the page being a smaller size rather than a larger size. Although we could try that one just to see. I hope you've all been keeping well. That wire came off. So it's either those two little ones there or like that, which still looks quite nice. If you can see that. Maybe I could make a bigger flower for the bigger leaves and a smaller, use the smaller ones for the smaller flower. That would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Okay, so let me show you how I make the flower. Let's put those to the side. Over there. And over there. So I've got, where's my piece? I've got about a 5-inch piece of paper there. And I'm just going to, now you could do this by hand just by, you know, doing this sort of thing and runching it all in if you want to, which is quite doable. Or if you have a sewing machine, just put it on its large straight stitch and do one line of stitching close to the edge, which I'm going to do now. Okay, see how I've put a large stitch close to the edge now? That's the right side up. So what you do is you find the top thread. That's the one you want to be using. And hold on to that. And that's the one you pull. And as you pull, it will gather up. Okay, and so you can pull. Because it's paper, you don't want it creasing up too much the wrong way. So I'm going to pull that side until it's about halfway, and then drop that, and then do the same on the other end. Find your top thread, which is there, and gently pull that up as well, like that. Okay. Just so it is nice and gathered. And you just keep kind of gathering it in. You can squash it down a little bit too, because it is paper, until you think it's going to form a nice circle for a flower. A little bit more, like that. And then once you've done that, you can tie it, but you've got to be careful your thread doesn't break. We could try and tie it. Let's see. Just to, okay. Okay, that will be easier now, but it's not going to unravel. And then just overlap the ends and give it a little squish, like that. Okay. Like that. And then, book paper, a little punch. You could just use a circle punch if you wanted to. I just don't have the right size. A nice generous amount of glue. And put that down there. And once you've done that, you can trim your threads off. And there you have a nice little rosette type of flower, Christmas flower, because it's silver. Find yourself a little flower of any kind you like. It could be a paper flower. I just happen to have been using these ones through the journal. And put that in the center, like so. And then I'm going to put a little bit of stickles in there, like that. So that's how I make the little flowers, just to add a little bit more Christmas. And this is a good idea if you don't have a lot of Christmas things, you know, Christmas themed things. You make your own Christmas themed things. When I was rummaging around, I found this old piece of sticker, And it's supposed to be all silver. I bought this years and years and years ago, but because it had come out of the plastic bag that it was in, got a little bit scuffed around and damaged. But you know what? I kind of like that. It makes it look vintage. So I've used some of that in the journal as well. So, you know, little things like that. Right. So, and also I can make a bigger rosette, which I think I will do, which is the same sort of principle, but it's just bigger. So because it's bigger, I will probably need a much bigger length. Probably, I'm thinking about just 12.5 inches we'll go for, and see how that works. I haven't done a bigger one yet, so I don't know what the measurement is. It might have to be bigger than that, but we'll see. I'll just run it through. This one I'll just space out a little bit further than the last one. Okay, getting the top thread. You have to remember it's just paper, it's not fabric, so we do have to be careful with that. Right. And this one, hopefully I've made it long enough. Maybe. Quite big, isn't it? Maybe a bit too big. Might need to cut it down just a little bit too wide for what I want. So what I'll do is I'll just take some of that gathering out a bit. We fold it again like that. Let's see if we can do this. It's just a little bit too. Let's see if that's a bit better. It's bigger than the other one. So once it's pulled in quite nicely, you can squash it down and it might just help hold it like that. I think that's much better. Yeah, okay, let me tie those carefully. That's it, isn't it? Yeah, tie those two together. Oh my goodness. Right. Give it a gentle pull in. I don't want to break the thread, so right. Okay, that looks like it's going to hold. And again, okay, done. Get that to the back, all those threads to the back, like that. And so that's a larger one, just arrange your little pleats. I'm going to need a larger thing there, aren't I? Perhaps I can use the circle punch on this one because it is bigger. Like that. Will hold it in its position. Get rid of those threads now. You've got a little bit of time to adjust it before that glue, sets too much. Right. Oh, I just thought of something. Oh, okay, I'll be back. Okay, so I got a couple of skewers. Just put one to the side. And let me just cut the sharp end off. Oh, first. Right, get rid of that. And how long is it? Just over 9, so about there. Okay, that's about right. Just always give those a little bit of a sand down when you're cutting wood. You don't want anything overly sharp. That was the original blunt end. These two will need doing. Okay, so they're not too rough. And then we can, I can glue that to the back like that. Just a little bit above halfway, I think. And then another circle. To hold that on the back, like that. And it's just a little novelty. You could use that to put on the front of a gift for somebody if you wanted to. Now to find something for the inside. Maybe I put them back in my box. They are from Lavish Laces, but they're I've had them for a while. Oh, here we go. Here they are. Maybe that will work. These little flowers, they seem to be perhaps the right size. Don't they? That could work. Let's have a look. Because I don't want anything too bulky. I think maybe that could work. Oh, let me cut another one off so I can put it away. There we go. Just trying to think if it needs anything else behind it. Like, where did I just put? Oh, there we go. I don't know if I've got enough left of it now. Oh, I might do. But sometimes, you know, you could do a little flower and put it behind it. And it just sort of, it is making it quite thick. I could try one. I can always use them somewhere else. I could probably get a couple of flowers out of that. Yes. So I'll make those in exactly the same way. And then I'll come back. Okay, so I'm just finishing up the flower now. And I did this one by hand. And what I've done is when I pulled it tight, I left a larger circle in the center just so you see more of the lace around this flower. And that should go on there. I think that looks fine. Yes, we will do that. Glue. On the edges like that. So you don't want it over puffy, that's the thing. So that looks fairly centered. A little bit on this. Okay. In the center. Now I can press it down, making sure your lace still looks nice, like that. What can I put? feel like that little part there. There. Yeah, that's a bit better. Okay, there's that. So now, what I was going to do, I'll just move some things here. It's so easy to get too much going around. Right, so the journal, I thought this sort of thing is nice. You can either put it on the front of a package, but you know, just to slip inside that front pocket as well would be nice, like that. Just as a little novelty. Adds a little bit of silver. I've got these which I used on a couple of the embellishments. Oh, wrong way. These are what I got from Baby Craft. Little buttons. I'm wondering if they might be alright to use in the centre if I took the back off. It's quite pretty, isn't it? Let's just grab the back, and they come off fairly easy, these things. There we go. The little back part comes off quite easy. Might keep that because it's not squashed or anything, and it might be useful for something. Let's just add some glue and glue that there to the centre. Like that. Nice little rosette flower that comes out. You can stick it on your desk somewhere or whatever you want to do with it. So I think that's it for this video. The next video will be putting it all together. I have had to remove one signature because it got far too big. This is just 2 signatures and the centre paper bag, and that's plenty big enough. It still leaves it about 88 pages or something like that, which is quite good. And I'll probably have to make a smaller journal out of the middle signature as well. But the next one we will put the signatures in and complete the cover and do a flip through, show you what it's like. So thank you so much for watching, everybody, and take care. Bye.